One of the joys about doing it, changing this from Broadway to, from off-Broadway to Broadway, we knew some elements we really wanted to heighten on the Broadway level. And one of them is the proscenium and the found objects in the proscenium. This is it's a method that I like to use for a lot of scenery called relief sculpture, where we take small items, small salvaged items, and use them to create a larger sculpture, or larger relief, as opposed to taking a piece of blue foam and carving it out, which is wasteful in that the foam is not a particularly sustainable material. So, but we've got all this stuff lying around, like little toys, and I'll tell you about more of the stuff. So, what I do, because we knew from off-Broadway, Broadway, they were going to get bigger and we wanted to have really accentuated pieces, it allowed me in this drawing, in this phase, to actually draw out individual things, which is not typical. Normally I would not be able to say, I want 46 spoons, or, you know, I want to use crushed CDs. This is where these guys are really making art. I mean, this is one of the artisans right here. She's got the tube, you know, like the fabric tube, you know, we get the yard of fabric, we cut that in half and we stuck on bottle caps. These are some of those little toys, beads. Those are the mannequin parts. Can you keep going? This is the mermaid up at the top. So rope in the hair. Those old records ended up being part of the tail, and for the other mermaid on the other side, CDs. You can keep going. Okay, so we found this foam from Build It Green. Corks. There are 3,576 one corks used. I'm going to pass this list around too. 3,563. My bad. Really, the idea for really pushing the objects in the proscenium was taken from the costumes. I mean, in those mermaid costumes. So even though I was doing it anyway as a way I work, I always try to hide it. I don't want the audience to see that we're using trash. I mean, really, if you're creating sets that look like trash, to me, that's not that interesting. It's been done before. And I think the idea is that we're not presenting trash on stage. We're presenting real scenery. You know, it's got to be the real thing, because you as an audience, audiences today are sophisticated enough where they want to see either art or magic. 3,563 corks, 817 bottle caps, 312 forks, spoons, and knives. Bamboo sticks, ropes, beads, toys, tin can tops, CDs, line beads, mini corks, buttons, rope pieces, zippers, Q-tips. Now black acoustic tiles, those I found in a dump. They were plastic. I don't even know if they were acoustic tiles. They were black plastic tiles. And we found a whole dumpster full of them. I'm like, I don't care what, I mean, these are like, what are, like, this is going to sit in the landfill and sit there for like 1,000 years. Like, we got to use this. I think I have my entire life, my entire creative life is like one step away from disaster. Like, I don't know. You know, you embrace that, and all the models are crushed and broken and put back in. There's no like one great idea. It just doesn't exist. It's all about sort of like working and bringing it out. So I'm yakking a lot. I want to pass this over to Paloma.
Donyale talks about like at Christmas when you give a child a gift and they unwrap it and they play with the toy for like a few hours and then they play with the box for like a week. And that is really, I mean, even though Peter and the Starcatcher is a play about a prequel to Peter Pan, I think to the whole creative team, it became much more a play about storytelling and about play and childhood. So that was sort of the springboard, is the kids in the box. The things that you think of when you're kids, or the things that your students think of, are like the brilliant ideas that we forget about when we grow up and we go to grad school and we're given a blank page, and we can make something from scratch. We're given that option of like, you know, if there was nothing in the world, like, and you're starting with whatever you want, like, I feel like every grad school project is like unlimited budget. You know, if all your dreams could come true, what would your design be? And really, this show was more about like, let's actually go back to the fantasy of our childhood and the magic we made with nothing instead of this sort of indefinite everything. So, and here are kids on stage playing with books. And so we found like old buttons and pins, and then these keys, which came in handy one night when Lord Astor forgot to put the key to the trunk in his pants. And so Black Stash was like rooting around to find the key in his pocket, and couldn't find it, and then slowly realizing that it's not on his person, and so he just grabbed one of the keys off of the vest and it was like, this must be the one. There it is right here.